Well, the best thing about the game is I think we got out healthy. I don't think we had anybody that had any kind of serious injury, and that's what you always worry about through the spring game. I think spring was productive. I think we got some things accomplished. We got a long way to go. I think you have to kind of take it in perspective. Anytime you play a spring game, a lot of guys are going to play, and you see a lot of different people, and you have to kind of break out who's actually going to play in the fall and who's not going to play, and those kind of things. But while we got a lot to work on, I'm encouraged that we've got a base to move forward with in fall camp.
What'd you think of Dave's performance today?
But he's athletic. I mean, he makes plays. He's hard to tackle. As he learns, he's got a chance to be a good player.
Is it difficult to evaluate? He had 2 walk-ons, a true freshman, and a converted defensive lineman on that O-line blocking him today. So it's a little harder to
probably
judge
blocked
him.
better than the group on the other team. So it was, he's played in practice. We've evaluated. You don't evaluate on one day. We evaluate on the whole body of work through spring practice. And we're excited about St. John. He's got to grow. Sometimes he's got to learn. A lot of times when he drops back to throw, he's not looking to throw. He's looking for a lane. I mean, he doesn't even bother to look downfield unless you just specifically tell him who to throw it to sometimes. And that's a young quarterback, but he's got some tools and he loves to compete. So we're excited about it.
The A-backs did a pretty good job of catching the ball today.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I haven't looked at the stats. There were some positives. There were, I guess for the most part, that one that Dickey threw on the goal line should have been a touchdown. A-back let it go right through his hands, through interception. But for the most part, if they catch it, I guess I don't pay much attention. It's when they drop it that I don't know.
How about Quayshawn's play today?
Quayshawn's another guy who's talented. He ran around, did some things, standing behind the huddle. He came on several blitzes and some stuff, and he was elusive. The guy was trying to pick him up, and he ran around him or dodged him. He can run to the ball. He's athletic. I don't know how many tackles he had, but he probably had a few.
Kevin Washington?
Probably wasn't his best day. I think he's probably banged up a little bit. And, he has that big old bulky brace on right now, and so he's not moving real well. But I think he's gotten better this spring, and he certainly played better than he did today. So, like I said, we try to judge it on the whole body of work and not just one day.
So it seems your pass rush was certainly getting into the backfield a lot. How concerned are you, with the offensive line, or are you more encouraged by the pass rush?
I don't know. Find out when we play somebody else. I'm concerned about the offensive line. That would be an understatement.
Is it a philosophy thing? Is it a part of the offense that the quarterback's not wearing the non-contact jerseys? Does it make you nervous seeing them get hit as hard as sometimes they did? You treat it like a real game? Because
I saw the nose tackle get hit really hard. I saw the offensive guards get hit really hard, and the guys with the ball. And, part of it, they learn to do it. I mean, there's a misnomer that we beat on those guys all the time, which is not true. We'll start fall camp, and once we get, 2 weeks before the first game, there won't be anybody taking them to the ground at all. So that's part of spring practice. I don't know how you can learn to play if you get to stand back there and nobody touches you. It's hard to learn how to play when that happens. The nature of what we do offensively, that guy carries the ball, so you can't not hit him. You get no look or nothing really that goes on. So, we try to protect them the best we can. It's not free reign on them, and our guys are pretty smart. There was a couple times we had guys come off the back unblocked that didn't take the shot that they could.
Seemed like Richard had a pretty decent day.
Yeah, he had a good start. I thought he did well, especially starting out those first couple of series. He found some creases in there and did some good things.
Same position, Preston continues to be a pretty steady performer, reliable feedback.
Yeah, he did okay. A couple of, I know the one sack in particular he gave up was his guy. He didn't think the guy was rushing, he went to somebody else, and then the guy delayed blitz. But Preston's had a good spring. I'm not worried about him. I think, like I said, we've got pretty good depth at that position. I mean, you know, I feel good about all four of those guys, honestly. I mean, David Sims has made a lot of progress in the spring there. Richard, Charles Perkins, I think is going to be a really good player.
You said coming into the spring that you thought you had seen a renewed work ethic in the off season and were looking forward to seeing that in the spring. Did you see it now that you've been able to go through this?
Yeah, I mean, overall, I think our guys have worked pretty hard. I mean, we've had a physical spring. If you come to our practices and you come and you get after it pretty good. And, you know, for the most part, we've had a lot of guys answer the call.
Like Jason Peters was pretty disruptive from his farm.
Yeah. Jason had a good matchup this spring.
How open is the quarterback position?
How open?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that it's a whole lot different than a lot of positions. I mean, you know, we're going to play the guy who gives us the best chance to win. We had those two guys go through spring. We got two freshmen coming in the fall. We'll give them a chance to see what they can do too. And then we'll make a decision who gives us the best chance to win the game. Sometimes winning the game is not losing it. You know, being able to manage and do those kind of things. And for the biggest part of spring, Tevin has done a good job of that. You know, today he did some questionable things, but you know, I think it got rattled a little bit, kind of got out of his element.
As you mentioned, you thought he came out pretty healthy today. It looked like TJ Barnes kind of hobbled off there, so he's okay?
We think, I mean, he was just in the training room. I went to check on him. You know, we won't know for sure, but we think it's just sprained.
With the fumbles being a problem last year, ball came out 5 times a day, 4 times lost, 2 of them. Just your assessment on ball security.
Well, if it comes out one time, it's not good.
Yeah.
When you play 99 guys, it's going to come out some. Now, it's disappointing. The first one was real disappointing. The guy took his eye off the ball on the pitch. I was standing behind the thing, and but I'm trying to think of the others.
Was the third one a fumble snap? Because he got sacked one time. It looked like it was an exchange.
Well, there was twice the center snapped the ball in the wrong snap count.
Okay.
So that might have been sorry. And then the receiver, the big tall Marty walk-on kid fumbled it on the sideline. I'm trying to think of the others.
Did you learn anything about the kicking game that you didn't know before?
Not really. I knew that we had some guys that aren't going to kick in the games. So, you know, basically you know, we'll try to decide. We usually bring 2 kickers into camp, and I think, to the best of my recollection, those 2 kickers each had 1 turn each, more than likely, and they were longer field goals. They weren't the guys that were missing the chippies.
Can you talk about what you saw that you liked out of the defensive secondary?
You talking about today or?
Yeah, today.
You know, I don't know. I guess they made some plays. They tackled okay. I don't know that they really got challenged a whole lot. The quarterbacks were, for the most part, running for their lives.
2 more?
If there was one player that kind of caught your eye this spring, you know, somebody who maybe you guys weren't sure was going to be involved that much, or just somebody who stood out to you, is anybody?
There's a couple of guys that stood out to me in the spring. They didn't play today. Julian Burnett stood out. I think Daniel Drummond had a good spring. He didn't play today. Jeremiah Otashu is going to be a really good player every down. You know, I'd say those 3 guys. I think Tony Zenon can make some things happen. He's a guy that we got to try to find a way to use some. You know, I mean, I could name several guys, but I think those guys. Lewis Young's a tough kid that didn't play a lot last year. Some of those young kids, I think, will be good players as they gain experience.
You mentioned, again, getting back to injury, Sean Green didn't play today. I know he's gonna be, could help with the depth of the defensive line. What's his status is going into
He should
fall?
be all right for fall camp. He should be okay with all this.
Okay.
Okay, guys.
Thanks, Scott.